everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April if you're new here. Today I'm reaching out to those new to the fantasy romance genre. Maybe your gateway into this genre was either ACOTAR or Fourth Wing. That honestly was a lot of us, including me. And now I want to give you some more books to read if you liked those books. So today's video is all the books you need to read after ACOTAR and Fourth Wing. Let's get right into the list because I have a lot of good ones. And the first book I have for you, of course, is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This one for sure, if you like the pacing, the found family aspect of ACOTAR and Fourth Wing, I think you will really love this. This is about a thief who lives in a very desert and desperate climate. She steals the wrong thing from the wrong person. She's about to be offed by an evil queen, and somehow she falls through a portal into a fae land with a very broody, moody fae man. They have to team up. They actually have a bond together, and she has to make some kind of magical weapons to help them. This has so many good scenes, such a good banter. I really loved it. And this hero right here, he is not a Resand, but you will love him and his mouth. Talking about a hero who will give Resand a run for his money, Luther in Spark of the Everflame. This whole series you absolutely need to read. It is so good. You're following a young healer who is taking over for her mother. She heals not only humans, but also the god touched in the royal palace. She's kind of getting pulled into this civil war between the two, and the humans are wanting to rise up and the god touched want to stay in power. She finds it very hard to hurt anyone because of her healing oath, so she's very conflicted the entire time. This has a lot of politicking, much like ACOTAR and all of the Fae realms and those kind of things, but just to me the push and pull between her human side and also the royal family that she is slowly growing to know more and more is a really nice touch. Really great plot here, and the hero so delicious. You don't get a lot of romance in this first book, but Glow of the Everflame, which is the second book, is top tier, and the fourth book will be coming out later this year, so you'll be able to read this year and get caught up and be ready to finish the final book with everyone else. A lot of us here who love fantasy romance absolutely adore this series. There's a reason why it went from indie to also getting picked up by a traditional publisher. It's fantastic. Almost a classic as much as ACOTAR for me personally, but you 100% need to read The Bridge Kingdom. This is actually a fantasy romance book that doesn't have magic in it, but you're gonna get the big politics in this, and you're also gonna get a heroine who is a secret assassin betrothed to a man she's supposed to get secrets from, and then but of course she kind of learns more and more about him, and that becomes more difficult for her to do. This is a really fun series. I really love the adventure in here. You are absolutely grappling with her feelings for her betrothed the entire time, and it's just a lovely series. This is a very old Bay Crate edition, which I don't even think they do Bay Crate anymore. But they have new covers that are really pretty too. The first two books are kind of a duology, but however, there is going to be 3 separate duologies altogether for this Bridge Kingdom series. But start with this one. It's really good. King Arn is one of my favorite book boyfriends as well. And there's just a lot of twists and turns and some really good cliffhangers as well. And then of course this has to be on this list. You have got to read Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. To me, you could either read this one or her other series, which is Daughter of No Worlds. This one has a little bit more plot action. The other one is a bit more character driven, so it's just kind of whichever way you want to go. But you have to read a book by Carissa Broadbent. She's going to give you all the same feels. You have a human woman who's been living in a vampire world. Her father figure that kind of claimed her as a young child and raised her is the lord or king of all vampires. And she's always been afraid the entire time she's been alive. So she wants to join the Kajari because the winner of the Kajari gets granted a wish from a goddess, and she just wishes to be a vampire so she can be strong and not in fear anymore. This is really brutal. The trials in here, the games that they play are really, really good. And also Rain is a redheaded hero, which you will absolutely fall in love with. Also the heroine here, I love her so much. This is such a great political fantasy romance, but also a real good romance. So definitely pick this one up. And then I'm gonna need you all to read The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. If you haven't already, of course you haven't already because you just finished ACOTAR and FOURTH WING. This is not only pirates, but it's also Vikings, and there's also magic, and there's also a really freaking cool pirate ship that I've never seen before. Eric Bloodsinger has been held captive since a child by the heroine's father. He eventually got banished back to his land, but when his daughter touches this like magical force field in her land, it kind of basically summons Eric Bloodsinger to come kidnap her and hold her for ransom. He basically just wants to kidnap her and take his revenge out on the king, but he can't do that after a while. And of course they start to have feelings for each other. This one is real good. The second one for me was better than the first, but this one is super good as well. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of piratey goodness, a lot of different realms, like they're traveling from one realm to another in here, much like the spring courts in ACOTAR. And then there's just a lot of battles going on as well that are really cool. Definitely need to pick this one up. This is one of my favorites. And then if you want epic fantasy romance, if you want slow burn, if you want ultimate enemies to lovers, you need to read The Crown of Oaths and Curses. This book, by the end of it, you're gonna go, it's okay that it had almost no romance in it. It's okay, even though it's this chunky. This book right here is so good. You have this witch right here coming back from a 100-year-old war. So she's kind of over it. And then she meets her fated mate, who is her absolute enemy, mortal enemy. And they immediately don't see eye to eye, and he locks her in a dungeon. They ultimately have to team up together to fight another big bad in their land, and they really hate each other. Like I said, this first book, almost no romance, but you're not gonna care. You're not gonna care because it's that good, okay? It is that good. You definitely need to read it. And this is also going to take you on some travels, especially in the second book. There's a lot of places that they go and you're going to love it. So definitely check this book out. And then another one I definitely think you should try out, again, this is more indie, is White Horse Black Knight. This one has a really cool concept behind it. And again, you will just love the really combative enemies to lovers-ish type of feeling in this book. The female main character in this one is betrothed to a king, and part of the stipulation of her betrothal is that she reenact this fable in her world where she has to ride horseback to the king completely naked for 21 days with no one but a sole army captain of the king's choosing to guard her. It is so good. You are definitely watching this girl go through towns completely buck naked with just her hair to cover her, and then the guard having to keep everyone's paws off her fur. It is a really cool concept. There's also magic in here. She talks to animals, which I think is a really cool ability, and how that grows and manifests on this journey of hers is really interesting. This one is so cool. I finished the second book not too long ago, and holy Jesus, is it spicy. It is probably one of my favorite spicy scenes of all time in it, but this first book, so good as well. It does some classic fantasy romance moves that I think work in every single book I read for me, that I also think you will love. Just know this one's a little bit more brutal at times, but also just really cool and unique. Another, I think, fun, fast-paced one that I think you will love, and if you want to dip your toes into something, why choose, meaning one girl for multiple love interests, then you definitely need to try out Bonded by Thorns. ACOTAR in the very beginning is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and so is this, only I think this gives you a little bit more of the Beauty and the Beast taste. You definitely have your Gaston character in this, and you definitely have your Beast's character in this, and of course Belle, which her name is not Belle. What is her name? I can't remember. What is her name? Rosalina. Her name is Rosalina, of course. This is about a girl, of course. Her father is considered crazy. He thinks that the Fae are real, and one day he goes missing. When she goes to find him, she realizes he's locked up in a castle, and so she negotiates her life for his. And it's the same old story of Beauty and the Beast, only she realizes that she's locked up with 4 princes from different season courts. So that's where like kind of the similarities come. All of these princesses have very unique characteristics and personalities. So you're definitely gonna get kind of sucked into all of them, and you're gonna love all of them. Definitely try this out. It's like a 4 or 5 book series at this point, but I really loved this one. It's fast paced, it's really lovable and adventurous as well. So try this one out. And then also you need to try Fear the Flames. This is by Olivia Rose Darling. This has dragons in it. So if you love the dragons of Fourth Wing, try this one out as well. In this one, you have a runaway princess. She has gone and created her own other secret kingdom far away. However, she's missing her dragons. At birth, she was bonded to 3 dragons. I think 3 dragons. And those dragons are being held captive by her very evil father, who is the king. And her kingdom, her secret kingdom, is having issues. They're struggling to get by. So she teams up with her father's enemy kingdom. If she helps that kingdom kind of win a war against her father, he will help her rescue her dragons. And that's it, the story. It's really adventurous, it's really fun, and also what I love in this one also is the heroine has anxiety attacks, so it has really good anxiety rep in it too. So I think this one mimics a lot of the mental health rep in Fourth Wing as well, and you'll really love it. And the next one I really think you should try out is The Dagger and the Forbidden Heir. This one's a little lesser known than the other 9. However, I just read it and loved it. This one follows the bastard daughter of a king. Her mother was a commoner. They were mated. However, because she was a commoner, he couldn't marry her. He had to marry another noble woman. And that's why she can't be the heir to the throne. There's a lot of drama surrounding that, which was really fun in the very beginning. She's also the captain of an army, and they're fighting the humans for like a 100-year-old war again that she's really tired of fighting. She's sent out on a secret mission one day with some not so cool army people that she's not used to going out with. And things happen and she gets stranded on a beach alone with the enemy commander from the human army. And they have to kind of work together to get out of where they are. They learn a lot about each other on the way, and things go from there. This one was really fast-paced, really fun. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was very action forward, and I think you will love this book because of the adventure part and the part where you have different realms and backstabbing, and there's definitely like a Joffrey-esque sibling in here that's very evil that you will love to hate, and you will just be rooting for these people to get together and also destroy the bad people. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're gonna root for in here. The heroine in here also makes some really stupid decisions, kind of like Feyre used to, and also Violet. So that's why I'm kind of putting it in this category. I think Feyre and Violet both make some really dumb decisions sometimes, and you're gonna feel the same way about Leah. But it'll be a real enjoyable experience, I promise you. It's really good and again, very fun. So that's it. Those are the 10 books I think you should read right after reading ACOTAR and Fourth Wing. I consider ACOTAR and Fourth Wing as fantasy romance royalty and fantasy romance 101. So just imagine these 10 books being fantasy romance 102. Okay. And then once you get through these, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit. There are so many good books out there. Definitely check out more. If you want some more fantasy romance recommendations, definitely check out my channel and subscribe because I love the genre so much. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.